All right, everyone, ready to dive in. Today, we're heading into a world that, I gotta say, has me really intrigued.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it.
Eastern fantasy, and more specifically, these cultivation novels everyone's talking about. We're going deep with this Immortal Path text as our guide, and it seems like it's going to be more than just, like, skimming the surface.
It really does get into the nitty-gritty, not just the stories themselves, but all the philosophy and themes that make the genre tick.
Exactly. Speaking of, right off the bat, the text mentions this whole relentless pursuit of immortality thing. And that really got me thinking, what is it about immortality, that idea,
Yeah.
that's so core to these stories? What makes it resonate, you think?
Yeah, it's a big one, isn't it? I mean, you see how it hooks people in, but it's deeper than just living forever, right?
Hmm.
A lot of Eastern philosophies, Taoism, for example, they tie immortality to this whole journey of spiritual growth. You transcend your limits, you reach for enlightenment, like truly understanding the universe, your place in it, the whole deal.
Okay, so not just about racking up birthdays. There's this whole other layer.
Totally. It's about aligning yourself with the Tao, that fundamental force of balance and harmony. Immortality becomes a natural outcome of being in tune with that.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Even thinking about it outside those stories, even in our everyday lives, people are constantly trying to improve themselves, leave some kind of legacy, make their mark.
Right. Like maybe that's our own version of striving for immortality, even if it's not literal. It's that desire to, I don't know, to matter, to reach your full potential.
It's fascinating. And Immortal Path keeps highlighting that these stories are packed with these like unforgettable characters, right? And they're all part of this struggle, I guess.
Oh, for sure. The characters are what bring it to life, right?
Absolutely. So spill the tea. What kinds of characters can we expect? Any like classic archetypes or standouts we should look out for?
Oh, you've got your ambitious mortals, tons of those. Always striving for power, destined for greatness, that kind of thing. Think Meng Hao from I Shall Seal the Heavens.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that one.
So he begins as just this regular scholar, right? Nothing special, but he's got this relentless drive. He's resourceful. And eventually it takes him to these incredible heights.
I feel that. Starting as a simple scholar, I mean, relatable, right?
Haha, right. But then on the flip side, you've got your enigmatic immortals. These are the figures like Wang Lin from Renegade Immortal. They're the guardians of ancient knowledge, powerful secrets. They've reached this level that's almost unimaginable, and their actions often shape the fate of worlds, literally.
Okay, powerful secrets, I'm listening. Now, I know the text also mentions all these complex systems, formations, lost martial arts techniques, all that. It sounds awesome, but honestly, a bit overwhelming too. Can you break it down a little? Like, what's a cultivation system, really?
So, cultivation is basically about refining your body and your spirit. It's a process. You're pushing yourself to higher and higher levels of existence. It's kind of like imagine leveling up in a video game.
I like where you're going with this.
So instead of gaining XP, you're absorbing spiritual energy from the world around you. You're mastering all these techniques, overcoming trials, and that unlocks all these crazy abilities.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. What about these mystical formations, though? That's the part that always seems a little,
Magical.
yeah, like magic circles, ancient symbols, that sort of thing.
You're not wrong. They are intricate patterns, arrangements of objects, but they harness energy, manipulate it. You can use them for defense, for attack, healing, communication. It's kind of limitless, honestly.
So picture a character setting up a formation to like supercharge their attack
Yeah.
or creating this protective shield around themselves.
Exactly. And then you've got the lost martial arts
Well,
techniques.
yes, those. Gotta ask about those.
These are legendary fighting styles passed down over generations, and each one's got its own unique philosophy, its own source of power. Some might focus on brute strength, others on speed, agility, or maybe even controlling the elements, like fire or water. Finding and mastering one of these lost techniques. That's a game changer in a lot of these stories.
You're painting quite the picture here. I gotta say, this is making me want to check out a cultivation novel ASAP. Now, I did notice that Immortal Path, it seems to be written for both like hardcore fans and also total newbies. Why do you think this genre is catching on with such a broad audience lately?
I think it's a few things. We're more globalized, right? More exposure to different cultures, different stories. And Eastern philosophy, it's finding a bigger audience these days. But honestly, I think it's because these novels offer something different, something deeper.
Deeper how?
They explore these big themes, self-discovery, fighting against fate, searching for meaning in a universe that's vast and often confusing. Plus, let's be real, epic battles with fantastical powers. Always a crowd pleaser.
I mean, yeah, who doesn't love a good, fantastical showdown? I did notice something interesting in Immortal Path, though. It really emphasizes the importance of community in these stories, which I thought was cool. Like, even though it's about individual journeys, there's also this shared experience of discovery.
That's a great point. You see it all the time. Disciples training together in their sects, cultivators teaming up to face a big threat, or even just fans online discussing the novels, sharing their thoughts. That
Hmm.
sense of community, it's really strong.
Which is something we love here on the Deep Dive, too, right? We're all exploring these amazing worlds together.
Exactly. Like they say, it's about the journey, not just the destination.
So true. Okay, to wrap this up, it sounds like these Eastern fantasy cultivation novels, they're more than just fun stories, right?
Oh, definitely.
They give you this chance to explore different ways of thinking, grapple with big questions about existence, and just get totally lost in these worlds that are full of wonder and possibility.
And maybe even find your own path to immortality, whatever that looks like for you.
Hmm, that's a really interesting thought. Maybe your immortality, it's mastering some skill, or leaving a positive impact,
Hmm?
or just becoming the best version of yourself, right? However you define it, keep striving, keep exploring, and as always, thanks for joining us for this deep dive. It's been a blast.